Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy LaRon. We back with another video. You see the thumbnail, see this video's about. But before we get into this video, I want to say what's up to my subscribers. Also, if you're new to this channel, welcome. If you are new, please consider hitting subscribe and turn on notifications, because on this channel we do thought-provoking videos, reaction videos, and once a month I do a review on a black-owned product. Not to mention, I do a weekly live called Wednesday Night Live, where I have special guests come on, talk about current topics and things of that nature. And now I'm so happy to mention I have a podcast with another brother, actually my brother, named Unstructured Conversations. He has a YouTube page as well. And weekly we dropping our podcast. It's going to be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts at. So I'm going to put a link in that in the description box. Actually, I'll put a link in the pinned comments, make it like daylight so you can see it. Like, all right, let's check this podcast out. But let's get into this video right here. I'm not sure if this is George Floyd's nephew. He going around saying he's a nephew. You never know. Sometimes the old head love calling people nephew, like, yo, what up, nephew? And maybe at the time, he used to say that to this young man, right? He's going up to a judge apartment building, trying to intimidate the judge and let the judge know that they want the Kim Potter trial to be aired. Because originally the judge did not want the trial to be aired. She said, no, it's too much of a distraction. George Floyd nephew want the Kim Potter trial to be aired, right? I'm gonna just say George Floyd nephew, just for argument's sake, right? He wants the trial to be aired. So if you don't know who Kim Potter is, she's an officer, a former officer that killed Dante Wright I think it was last year. She killed him last year, and she grabbed her gun thinking it was a stun gun. Grabbed the wrong thing, shot the man, he died, right? So she's on trial for that. She's been charged for murder, and she's been taken off the force. But the trial is not going to be aired, and that was a problem for some activists in that town. So what they did was they went to the judge's house. They tried to strong arm her to doing what they want her to do. And actually, they did. So I'm going to show you this news clip of what happened, and I'll give you some information about that later. So let's get into it.
Away from jury selection in the Kim Potter trial. The former Brooklyn Center police officer charged with manslaughter for the shooting death of Dante Wright. But authorities are concerned about an incident over the weekend in which protesters went to the home of the judge. Lou Ragoose joins us now with more. Lou?
Well, Julie, unlike the Derek Chauvin trial, so far Judge Regina Chu has not allowing cameras in the courtroom for Potter's trial. Now, on Saturday night, protesters upset with that went all the way to what they believed was her front door in a scene that's upsetting to a lot of people.
I know where I'm at.
The live stream begins with activist Cortez Rice.
First of all, your man live streamed it. Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
On the floor of the condo where he says Judge Regina Chu lives.
We got confirmation that this is her house right here.
Judge Chu is presiding over the trial of Kim Potter, the former Brooklyn Center officer charged with manslaughter for shooting Dante Wright.
The judge stay in this nice, predominantly white neighborhood, this nice little white building.
Rice lingers by the door, then yells out the window at other protesters.
Hey, yo!
And walks out.
Yo, your man made this judge's apartment complex to the projects that yell out the window.
Side after a resident on the floor questions him.
Is there a reason why you're yelling out the window? Yeah, to let the gang know we up in this bitch.
Yo, you can't make yourself more incriminating than this. This is crazy.
Outside, Rice joins about 20 other protesters yelling for Judge Chu to allow cameras in the courtroom for the Potter trial.
We need those cameras in that courtroom, lady.
What's your reaction having watched a little bit of that video?
I understand the First Amendment. I understand that people have a right to protest, but you want to have a protest that's effective. And this is a monumentally stupid way to go about to express your opinion.
I agree with him, but I also kind of like, he says that the stereotypical thing that older white men says about protests, like, yeah, you have the right to protest, but you're doing it the wrong way. I do think it's a stupid way of protesting to go into the judge's house. This seems like old school, KKK type moves that, they go to the person's house. Like, listen, here, you gonna make that boy guilty. That's what this reminds me of. But I agree with him, but I disagree with him, because they always say the same thing. You protested, but you're doing it wrong. You can't tell someone how to protest, in my opinion.
Former Chief Judge of Hennepin County District Court Kevin Burke, now retired, says the tactic is ineffective because no judge would make a ruling out of intimidation for the obvious precedent it would set.
It is not at all designed to be an effective protest. It's just popping off in a pretty dumb way.
Many people inside the condo called 911, and Minneapolis police are now looking into it. Rice deleted his live stream, but returned today to defend his actions, claiming he was not intimidating Judge Chu.
It's very unfortunate for y'all little-minded people. It's so very unfortunate.
I guess I'm one of those little-minded people because you definitely went to this lady's house and tried to intimidate her. But what's your thoughts on that, man? That, you know, this brother went up to the judge's house and intimidated the judge. And actually the judge, from what I understand, reversed her decision and made this to be a televised trial now. So they actually got their way. I don't know if it was this tactic that made her change her mind or maybe something else. But so needless to say, the trial is going to be aired. So they did get their way. They did strong arm their way and got their way. What y'all think about this, man? Y'all think this is going to be the way of the future that, you know, if you don't like a certain thing, we're going to have to protest and get it our way? We're going to have to do the bully move, you know what I mean? Bully tactics? Or you think that it's going to die out soon? I think it might. Will it die out? Yeah, I think it would die out eventually. No, it might not die out. I don't know. I'm on the fence. If it's going to work, they're going to keep doing it. And like I said earlier, it's like old school KKK type stuff. Like the lynch mob going to the judge like, yo, you know that boy guilty. You better charge him as guilty. And the judge like, all right, I don't want no smoke with him. I'm going to charge him as guilty. Mob rules. This is becoming mob rules. This is becoming what we were against and now we becoming it. You know what I'm saying? When I say we, I'm just saying like the people that's doing this. I'm not saying myself. I'm not going out to no judge's house and tell the judge what to do during his or her trial. That's not going to be me. Because that sound like on some grounds for you to get arrested or some federal charges. You know, and like the other guy on NBC who followed the jury. And matter of fact, not to mention the same guy, he put out a video saying that they have people in the courtroom for the Kyle Rittenhouse trial that's taking pictures of the jury. And if the jury don't have the case the way they see fit, do something to the jury. Like, that's another empty threat. It's like, what are you doing? Like, come on, fam. You can't have this mob rule. We'll see where it goes, man. But I don't think mob rule is a good look. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that mob mentality, that mob rule is a good look because it always comes back around to the person that's starting it, and the mob gonna get tired of you, and the mob is gonna take you over and beat you up and do something like that. But what's your thoughts on this, man? Man, to me, man, it is a stupid way of protesting, but it did work. So that judge was wrong on top of being wrong. You know what I'm saying? But what's your thoughts on this, man? I'm really lost for words. Like, yeah, he went to the judge's house. They said they didn't want to televise, and the judge gave in. Not saying they gave in because he came to the house, but eventually she televising this trial now. I don't think it's a good look, but that's my thoughts on it, man. I'd love to hear what you think about in the comments. Like I said, I'm a pinned comment for my new podcast I got with my brother, so you guys can check that out. Well, it's weekly. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice thing. It's a nice podcast. I like it. I listened to it earlier, and you know it's weird to hear yourself on the podcast, but I did listen to it. And I gave myself a 5-star rating. I suggest you do the same thing too. Why not, right? Give me a 5-star rating. I'm just starting out. But I appreciate you guys, and all right, man, till next time. Peace.